Hi dear students, welcome to our new video that is business law. So this is our new subject, business law, introduction to business law, and here in this subject we'll be studying about basic things related with business law. So we all know what is business and what is law and all. We'll be just knowing more about these things. So first of all, we can go through what do you mean by law. Law means it is a set of rules enforceable by the courts which regulate the government of the state and govern the relationship between the state and its citizens and between one citizen and another. That means law is something which is regulated by government and which is enforced by the court of law, and it should be followed by every person or each individual in the state. So we know that law it is to make smoothen our life, or law is very much important in our daily life, and it is the command which is given to human being to regulate their human behavior in the social life. Otherwise, what happens is that in a society, if there is no any law or if there are no any rules and regulations to be followed, each individual will be focusing or each individual will be performing or they will be behaving as they like. So it won't be very good with others. So to control the social life or to control and regulate the human behavior in the social life or in the society, laws has been framed. And law might differ from each state or from each country. The reason is that according to the situations of each state or each province, the rules and regulations might change. So people living in an organized society have to follow certain common rules. Otherwise, the peaceful living won't be possible. So the main function of law is to maintain a peaceful life or peaceful living in the society. And this term law means it is something definite. And law can be defined as a definite rule of conduct and human relations. That is how the human beings should behave. That is rule or that is a law. And we have many definitions related with this law or business. One among those definitions are that is according to Holmes, law is a state of the circumstances in which public force will be brought to bear upon through courts. That is, there will be many public suggestions will be there, all will be put together by the court and that will be given as a rule or as a law. So in simple words, we can say this law as it is to have a definite rule on the human behavior and it is given by the state sovereign power. Next, we can do I think now what you have an idea about what you mean by law. Law is it is a binding and authoritative rule, or it is something decisions which has been given by the court and which is regulated by the state, and if anyone violates such rules or laws, that person will be punished. So next we can move to nature of law. It is very simple. That is why we or what are the nature or how can we understand what is law. So law is a general rule of human behavior in the state. That is how a person should behave in a state or how a person should behave in the society. And all are equally subject to this law. No one has priority or no one is discriminated from in eye of law. So everyone will be having equal law, or everyone should follow law equally. So even the aliens living in the territory of state, they are also bound to follow the rule. No one can say that, oh, I don't belong to the state, so I don't know the law. You cannot say that. If I'm living in India, I should know what are the rules and regulations which is followed in India, and I should follow it. No one can say that I'm a foreign citizen, so I don't know the rules and regulations of current or this country, and I won't follow that. We cannot say like that. Any person living in a state or any person living in a country, he should know what are the rules and regulations to be followed, and he should follow those things. Now, second one is law. Who frames this law? Law is implemented by the state. I had mentioned it before, and it is enforced by the court of law. And this state always put, or they will always regulate this law, and it is the government who protects, or who gives a force, or who gives a regulation towards the towards society, so that if anyone violates such rules or regulations, they can put for punishment. And this law creates a binding authoritative values or decisions to rule people of that particular state. Everything is done to have a peaceful living. Then laws, and that is the courts will settle the disputes. If anyone is having any disputes, those disputes can be settled by the court, and it is the court who settles all disputes, and it is based on certain interpretations and application. That is, when the person is giving a case, the opposite party also will be there, and each them were heard by the court, and the court can take a decision on basis of the interpretations and material facts which they had put there. Then the main purpose of law is to provide a peace and protective life for the society. So these are the main or important characteristics of law or nature of law. Next, we can go through sources of law. So to frame everything or to have something, we should have, or we will be having certain sources. So for law also we have certain sources. First source is custom. Custom, you know what is custom. It is the social relations, or it is some traditions which have been followed by the people. So these are used to settle and decide disputes among the people, and customs are practiced habitually, and violations of customs were disapproved and punished by the society. This work happens in the tradition areas, and this is taken, and certain customs are taken as law by the government. Next is religion and morality. Religion values, religion values will be taken. Then certain religious codes might taken as law. Then morality values, moral codes, or things will be taken when we are framing law. Then legislation. Legislation means it is a chief source of law, and I had mentioned that in tradition or long back, state was dependent on certain customs. Then when it think that customs are not that much to be proved, it began to transform customary rules of behavior into certain rules of behavior of the people, and it has become, or it come to recognize that there are certain things to be noted, and there are certain things to be eliminated, or there are certain things to be taken from this customs, and there are certain things to be avoided. So all those things comes together and we put as legislation. Then delegated legislation. Delegated legislation means we have mentioned that it is the authoritative power is with the state. So they might delegate their power or their authority to different sections, to different executives, and they make law. So that is another one. Then equity. Equity means it is the fairness in sense of justice. So each person or each individual should have certain equal rights. So law should fulfill all these things. And equity is used to provide relief to the aggrieved party and both parties, to the aggrieved party and the opposite party. Then judicial decisions, the decisions which they had taken before, that is taken. Then scientific commentaries, those commentaries which the constitution of laws have given, or those commentaries which the court has given before, all the interpretations will be taken taken as sources of law. These are very few or simple things. That's why I had gone in speed manner. So just to understand what all are these things, just basics of this. So in next video we'll be studying about different types of law. Thank you.